Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Flock here, and with the almost impending free agency coming in the NBA for 2017, there's some pretty high caliber free agents that's going to be on the market come the end of the season. I'm going to run off my top 10 possible free agents of 2017. I won't go into where I think they're going to go or anything like that. We'll save that for after the season, when it's like more true to form as to, you know, them. You can have a better chance of knowing if they're probably going to leave or what team is going to free up space to make a run at who. Right now the season is still in place, but we can still go over who's going to be available, and you can make your decision in the comment section of where you think these players may go, if they're going to stay with their current teams or whatnot. So we'll start it off just like this with number 10, Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka is an unrestricted power forward. He's a free agent at the end of the season. 6'10", currently playing with the Toronto Raptors. He was actually on Orlando at the beginning of the season, ended up being traded to Toronto. So I personally just believe that he'll end up staying in Toronto, and I'll just leave it at that. And also, he's making like about roughly over $12 million a season. So his asking price may go up depending on what his productivity is by the end of the season, because his productivity has taken a dip ever since he left Oklahoma City. Now we'll go over to number 9, Danilo Gallinari. He has a player option. He's a small forward, 6'10", playing with the Denver Nuggets right now. He's a pretty good shooter, pretty good scorer. He's making like $15 million a season, which is, I mean, in today's NBA, that's not considered overly priced for that type of player, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. He has a tendency to get injured a lot though, so that may or may not take a toll on his, his earning power and whatnot. So Danilo Gallinari, solid player at the number 9 spot for possible free agents for 2017. Now, number 8, I got George Hill. Now, a lot of people may be like, George Hill, hear me out on this one. George Hill is having probably his best season today as a pro. He's playing with the Utah Jazz. He's making $8 million a season, unrestricted free agent, 6'3" point guard. He can play the 2 guard as well, so he's a good combo guard to have. And that system that Utah runs is ideal for him. So my personal opinion, he should probably stay there and, ball out, get paid in the process. Because they got another player that's going to end up, that may end up leaving them. So yeah, George Hill at the number 8 spot of free agents for 2017. Now coming into the number 7 spot, we got Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, who has a player option at the end of the season, point guard, 6 feet, plays with the Toronto Raptors. And he averages like 22 points a game, like 7 assists a game. He's making like $12 million this season. You best believe he's gonna ask for more. But if I'm not mistaken, Kyle Lowry is closer to like, I think he's about like 31 years old, something like that, either 30 or 31. So, you on that side of 30, it's kind of hard to ask for a whole lot of money unless you're top tier, point guard. So we'll see how that goes. I think his best bet is to stay in Toronto, but you never know. I mean, they got DeMar DeRozan to stay, so maybe he'll stay with him, man, and they'll finally get that thing together in Toronto, especially with Serge Ibaka, who may possibly stay in Toronto after this season as well. They got a nice little nucleus there in Toronto. All right, coming in at number 6, I got Paul Millsap. Now, Paul Millsap also has a player option, so he can opt out at the end of the season. And most people that have player options typically do, unless you're a dumbass like Dwight Howard. But Paul Millsap, power forward, 6'8", plays with the Atlanta Hawks. He's averaging like 18 points a game, 8 rebounds. He's also making like $20 million this season. So I think that if he does resign, he's probably gonna want somewhat around that same margin, unless he's willing to give a contending team a discount, or stay in Atlanta and give Atlanta a discount. You never know. So I mean, he always outdoes himself. I mean, no one really expects a great deal from him, but he's been making an all-star team the past couple of years and whatnot. So I think that maybe this is the time where he cashes in, man, and just take full advantage of his recent play. Not sure about what I think he's going to do or where he's going to go. You never really know with certain players and certain organizations. So Atlanta's been getting rid of a lot of their players. So who knows? All right, in the number 5 spot, I got to go with Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward has a player option, small forward, 6'8". He's playing with the Utah Jazz. He's averaging about 22 points a game and about 6 rebounds. He's pretty good player, man. He's part of the reason why Utah is playing so good right now. I know once he was done with his rookie contract, he did try to leave there and signed an offer sheet from Charlotte. So that could come into play. He could leave, then again he could stay. He's making like $16 million. Look for him to make well more than that, in a range of like 25 a season, because he's a very good player. So look for him to try to cash out on Utah's recent success and his own success as well. So I got him at number 5, mainly because he's still young and he's got a lot of upside, man. He seems like he's a good dude and he's a very good player. All right, at the number 4 spot, I got to go with Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin has a player option, power forward, 6'10", playing for the LA Clippers. He averages about 21 points a game, close to 9 rebounds a game, and he's a good passer too, because he averages close to 5 assists a game. The one thing about Blake Griffin is his ability to post up and the fact that he's always injured every season. I don't think Blake Griffin has ever played a full season. It's just, I mean, I may be wrong, but I'm almost certain that I'm right. It's hard to speak on any player that plays for the Clippers right now. I mean, you never know what this guy is thinking. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this guy takes basketball as serious as he should, because with someone with his ability, he should be a monster out there. It should be very few players that should be able to guard him. But the fact that, you know, he doesn't want to take the time to learn a post-up game, and with him being injured all the time, him being able to jump over people, those days are going to go away quicker than he thinks. So he's definitely going to have to learn how to play with his back to the basket and learn how to play under the rim. You know, he's been working on the jump shot and all of that, but like I said, man, with the window closing on the Clippers, it's hard to see where his head is. Is his head at, you know, with just cashing out, getting money, or does he care about winning? Because if he cares about winning, he'll leave. If he cares about just cashing in, he'll end up staying with the Clippers, and that'll move make someone else have more of an incentive to leave LA. All right, at number 3, I got Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul, a little bit over 30 now, got the player option, point guard, 6 feet, also playing for the Clippers like Blake Griffin. It's hard to say how much they determine a point guard's worth once they get 30 years old. I mean, in this NBA, it's, you know, the game is moving so fast and everything is 3-point shots. So, but when you have a player like Chris Paul with the IQ that he has and his ability to make his teammates better as well, I mean, who's gonna tell him no, you're not worth X amount of dollars? Because one team that tells me he isn't, there's another team that will pay him that. So he's making $22 million this year. I think that the Chris Paul situation is kind of sketchy, because I believe that whatever they do with Chris Paul, whatever he decides to do, is going to be a direct reaction of what Blake Griffin does. I think if Blake leaves, he'll probably stay. Or if Blake stays and signs for like an unreal amount of money, they probably not going to keep Chris Paul. Or if they do, they just, I don't know. Because this team is just not working. Because I think one of them go. I don't think both of them will go. But where they'll go and all that, like I said, we'll say that for a later date. But I do believe that either him or Blake Griffin, one or the other, will leave. So that's going to be one of the most interesting things to see this summer, is to see how that plays out with the Clippers. So we'll see. All right, at the number 2 spot, I got to go with Kevin Durant. Mainly because he has the player option. And it's basically up to him what he wants to do. I mean, it's unfortunate that he got hurt. He got injured. Hopefully it's not as serious as they think, and he's able to come back for the playoffs and all of that. Small forward, they list him at 6'9", but Kevin Durant every bit of 6'10", close to 6'10" or 6'11" that there is. Playing for Golden State, of course. He averages 26, 8 rebounds, and like 5 assists. Definitely was in the MVP conversation before he got injured. I don't know how this plays out. If he stays or if he goes, I don't think he's gonna go anywhere. I mean, why sign there if you're only gonna go there for 1 year? Especially with all the controversy and the way that he left Oklahoma City and went to play with Golden State. I think the whole deal is just to kind of fill things out and create space and all this other stuff for them to sign other players. So, which will bring me over to my number 1 selection. Number 1 will be Steph Curry. Now, he's an unrestricted free agent, 6'3" point guard, also with the Golden State Warriors, averaging like 25 and 6 assists. I mean, what more can you really say about the guy? He's a back-to-back MVP winner. But the one thing about this guy is no one really knows how underpaid this guy is. He's only making like $12 million a season. And it's not a Golden State thing or anything like that. It's because when he signed that deal, no one expected for him to be the player that he is. I don't even think he expected for himself to be the player that he is right now, to be an MVP. This was before the MVP seasons and all that when he signed that deal. So best believe he's gonna be at least at the $30 million range this time next season. So Golden State is gonna have to come up with a real good plan to get this done, because they signed Draymond, they got Kevin Durant, they signed Klay to that big deal. So I feel like he's definitely the number 1. I mean, it's so unlikely that he leaves. I mean, it's almost like, why even put him on this list? But the fact remains, anything can happen. He's still an unrestricted free agent, so you never know. I mean, you never really know. But it's just like putting LeBron James on there every year when he's signing these 1-year deals with Cleveland. So, I mean, you don't really take it that serious, but there's always a possibility that it can happen. So there you have it, my top 10 possible potential free agents of 2017. Sound off in the comment section what you think, who you think will be leaving, who you think will be staying, what you think teams will be, what teams will be trying to go after these guys, what teams these guys will be going and looking at, or anything, man. Just sign off in the comment section. I'm always checking that stuff out, see what you all have to say. I'm Flock, and I'm out. Peace.